how should we introduce ourselves? You go first.
No, you go first. This is your face.
Where the mountains meet the sea, that's where you'll find me. Hi, I'm Topanga, and this is My Van, My Life.
It doesn't matter. Okay. Take two. Hi, I'm Topanga.
I'm Chantelle.
And this is My Van, My Life. So yeah, we're going to take the opportunity today to kind of talk about van life from our different perspectives. So Chantelle is going to tell us a little bit about herself.
So, hi. I'm originally from New York. I've been on the road for about 9 months. I've made stops all across the states. Stops mainly in Arizona was like our first big stop, and we left before COVID, so we left before the pandemic, and we got to kind of watch the shift of all of the states change and shift into lockdown and pandemic mode, so that was really interesting. But we hung out in Sedona, Arizona for a couple months during the majority of the lockdown the first time. But yeah, van life has enabled us to really go anywhere at any point in time whenever we need to. It's enabled us to still be outside during the pandemic when everyone's supposed to be inside, you know?
Yes.
And it's really opened up a lot of our freedoms, and just being movable is really awesome.
Okay, how do you feel like COVID has affected your journey? If at all.
So, COVID has affected my journey probably in the best way that it could have.
Same.
It's really enabled us to do so much. Like, we traveled to some national parks and some places that people weren't really going out to, so it was like we had the whole outdoors to ourselves, and we're traveling and going to these places, and it was pretty much like the world was ours to see at whatever point in time we wanted to see it, you know?
Yeah, I would say that it's kind of been the same for me. Unlike them, I actually started my conversion due to COVID, and so like I have not known van life without coronavirus, and in all honesty, I know that it has impacted me and my lifestyle in kind of the best way possible. Being in California right now, especially coming from Nebraska, I expected to have issues with traffic, with parking, just like sorry, just wanted to let those motorcycles pass by. But I was just like really nervous, especially about like population density and the big change from going from a smaller city to a bigger, more populous city. But everybody is scared shitless, I guess, due to COVID, and in all honesty, there has been ample parking. I have been stuck in traffic maybe once, and I've had really no issues, and everybody says it's completely due to COVID. It's a completely different place than it usually is, and fortunately, looking at this negative situation and turning it into a positive, it has substantially impacted the way that travel has gone in a really good way.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure.
Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna ask you some like random questions.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you mentioned that you have pets that you travel with.
Yeah,
too.
okay, so I was also gonna say that. I also travel with my fiance, so it's the two of us, and we've got our cat and our dog. So, yeah, we have a big bed. We have a conversion van, so we have a big bed. That's one thing that was really important to us, was having enough space to like sleep comfortably if we're gonna be on the road, you know, and traveling, and sleep is really important to me. So having a bed was something that, you know, was very important in terms of space, and it allows our animals to kind of sleep with us and get comfy, and we stay warm at night in the cold areas. We're all snugged up together, so yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people are really concerned about like animals and van life and things like that. How do you feel like it's impacted you? Do you feel like it's difficult having animals, or do you feel like you've had to make any accommodations, or what is your experience with that, and how do you keep them safe and happy?
Yeah, so we had our animals before we were on the road, so it was like we already were adjusted to a lifestyle with animals, you know. It wasn't like we got them. We have some friends that have gotten animals like since they've been on the road, so their animals just grown up kind of on the road. But it was definitely a slight adjustment for the cat because he wasn't very much of an outdoorsy cat. And then when we started traveling, he realized that he got to go outside and explore, and like he likes being outside, so just getting to smell everything and like explore different areas and new places that he's never been, he's really enjoyed. But as far as like keeping them safe and stuff goes, we just have to, like, especially in the sun and in the summer when it was really hot, we would just have to make sure we would park in shady spots if we knew the animals were going to be in the vehicle for like a little longer than they normally would be. But we try and spend most of our time outside, like when we were parked over by Saratoga and stuff, like they have green space and they usually have land to just roam around and just not by cars, you know.
Yeah, no, there's like ample space for animals here. I feel like there's a lot of dog beaches. In San Diego, I know that they have like one of the biggest.
It's very animal friendly. Like you can pretty much bring your dogs anywhere, and cats too. Like there are some people who have traveling cats around, and it's like you can pretty much bring your animals anywhere in a beach town. I feel like
a cat tried to climb in my van today. Actually.
Yeah.
Yes, it was crazy. I was just like sitting there ordering my stickers, and I had the door propped open, and I just looked, and a cat was trying to climb in the van. I was like, "Come here!"
You're like, "Hi!"
I was like, "Please come, please come!" And I think I scared him away. But yeah, no, that was really good information.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask probably some like TMI questions. What about like showering and bathrooms?
Yeah.
How's that for you?
Yeah, so luckily we're very social people, so we make friends pretty easily. Yeah. So it's pretty easy to make friends, and especially if you make friends that have been on the road before and know what it's like, they're very like opening with their space, and people have been super kind. And like if you need a shower, if you need to wash your clothes, like if you even just want to come in the morning and use the bathroom, like we know how it is. So people are very open and like pretty much very giving, and people are very kind when it comes to showering and using their space to just get comfy. We've even been offered to like sleep in people's extra rooms and stuff, but we have a bed in our van, so we're like we love our space. Like
yes.
We love our van, we love our bed, we love being able to sleep in it, but we do really appreciate like the shower offers, and being offered to use bathrooms is always nice because we have public bathrooms at the beach, but they're not always the nicest, you know.
Yes, no, I think that I remember I told you one day that I wrote a poem about using the clean bathrooms.
Yeah.
Like they clean them right in the morning, and if you don't catch them right in the morning, then you really don't want to catch them because they're kind of nasty.
Yeah.
But you make do with what you have.
And there are like restaurants and stuff around that also have like grocery stores or whatever that have like clean bathrooms. So
exactly. No, I was gonna say I feel like I've really experienced kind of similar to you guys. And yeah, I noticed like a lot of people really do love to offer like spare bedrooms and
because
spare
they want to
beds
like offer
and
that
stuff.
homeness to you. You know, they think you're missing out on the home aspect just because it's like solid, but it's like we still have a home. We just don't have like a shower.
No, that's, and I always appreciate that, but sometimes I get like not, I don't want to say offended, but I'm kind of like, no, I really do have like a home. I have a space. Like I don't like, I'm not in need of like that. And I feel like sometimes people like misperceive the lifestyle and are like, oh,
like
let me help
not understanding
you.
that it's a choice that we made, you know, but rather people think sometimes like, oh, you don't have anything else.
Like let me give to you, and I'm like, no, it's not like that. Like I do appreciate
like I really
it.
appreciate it, but I'm not necessarily in need of much of anything.
Yeah, it's like, you know, just a toilet and a shower maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
But okay, let's think. Okay, and if I ask a question that's like too TMI or that you don't want to talk about, just let me know. I'm just like literally thinking of topics. Okay, so one TMI question. I just watched a video on it. How do you feel about having sex in the van?
Oh, okay. That's not where I thought you were gonna go. I have a question for you afterwards. I enjoy it. I love having sex in my van with my fiance, and I think that sometimes I wonder if like people on the outside know. like depending on where I am, I guess. But I've definitely had that question. Like, I wonder if anyone knows, or like, I wonder what the van just looked like. You know, like, were we rocking the shit, or was it pretty good? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I kind of feel the same way. Like, I love my van, I love my space, and I don't know, it's literally like having sex in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, I really enjoy it. I feel like it makes for some unique problem solving. You find ways to adjust to the size of the space and find new fun positions. So there's that too.
New explorations and new forms of intimacy is fun.
But like, yeah, I feel like both of our vans are pretty like stealth. You can't necessarily tell that there's people staying in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I feel like sometimes my van rocks just doing normal activities anyways, so
yeah.
If you've ever seen my van shaking, just walk past.
Just keep it going. Just keep it going.
Yes. Okay.
So I was gonna ask you, how does it work for you when you have your period, when you're on your moon cycle? Like, what do you do?
Well, that's actually a good question, because I just started. TMI, sorry guys. No. I don't know, like for me personally, I feel like it's not super different. Like I do have a little toilet, I've got like a trash can, I've got baby wipes, and I do have an external shower. So, for me, not really much changes. I feel like I'm really fortunate to have pretty, like, chilled periods. They're only about 3 days long, and
hell yeah to the light period cycles, man.
yes, and so
it's
like,
really a blessing.
It's super chill, it's super easy, like, I don't really get cramps too much either, and I feel like the active lifestyle really kind of helps with that. I read that somewhere. No, but I want to start.
Okay,
like,
so that was one thing. I have a cup, and like I was using that when I was getting my period, but I also found it, like when we were out in the desert, I found it difficult to like keep it clean or like wash it, because I didn't always have access to like a sink, and I didn't necessarily want to use my wipes, like, so I was like, I went more towards like the pad free situation out in the desert. It was a little easier, but being here is cool because there's like sinks and stuff, and I just like to rinse mine out and like clean it out every now and again. So
something that I actually was also looking into, I don't know how everybody feels about like periods, tampons, pads, stuff like that, but I actually saw this ad for like period underwear where you can
like free bleed into them.
Free bleed into them, and they catch it. I mean, it's like a built-in
like thicker,
pad or something.
it's like thicker padded underwear, so it's free bleed approved, doesn't get on your clothes and shit.
So I've actually considered that as well, and I'll let you guys know if you want an update on that, if I decide to use something like that. But for me personally, right now, I just kind of use like tampons. I try to get organic ones when I can find them, but feminine products are expensive.
Yeah, and that's another thing. They should be free to all women. Why are we paying for something that's a necessity, really?
100% agree, but that's another subject.
That's another story for another day.
I digress. No. Food. I was gonna ask, so I'm pescatarian, and her and her fiance are vegan. How do you feel van life is conducive to your eating habits, or how it's not, or what do you eat like?
So, being in Ocean Beach in particular is very tricky for us because there's so many vegan options around. There's so many restaurants to go to that have vegan options, and we have tended to fall into that spending money on going out to eat category. But when we're in the desert and when we're somewhere that the food options are a little more limited, I'll say. We were doing really great with cooking. We've got like a stove and pots and pans and like our whole kitchen set up. So we were doing really great just going grocery shopping like for the week and setting up our kitchen in the desert and like cooking our meals and having tea and doing it that way, you know. So eating fruits and vegetables and fresh fruit and fresh food in general is pretty easy to just kind of work with, you know. It's
Yes. No, I feel like moving here from Nebraska, there are so many more
There's
options.
a lot of options.
So many more healthy options. Like the other day, her and I, we went and got pitaya bowls or dragon fruit bowls.
Yeah.
So I tried those for the first time here. Acai bowls. Like, addicted to all those things.
There's such an abundance of options and fruit options and just fresh foods that I feel like you don't necessarily have
like
elsewhere.
in other places.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like it's been easy, but I'm kind of like bad at cooking. Not that I'm actually bad at cooking, but I'm bad at motivating myself to cook, especially being such a social person and having friends here.
And it's like easy to go out to eat with your friends. Like everyone's like, oh, you want to go out to eat? You want to go get drinks? You want to do, like, yeah, of course I want to do that. That sounds great. Like,
it's very easy to be like up in the air and be like, oh yes, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. Like, and but yeah, like I try to make routines, especially like surrounding food, so that I don't fall into that pattern too much. Like my shaman and I usually, like a few mornings a week, we'll work on breath work together and then make breakfast together, or I'll go hang out with one of my friends and eat breakfast with them. And like so many people around me eat really healthy, and so I try to do things like that. I am trying, starting on Monday, to convert to veganism. I'm gonna do that for at least the month. If I can sustain it, I would like to just continue that indefinitely. But yeah, overall I feel like, at least for me, van life has pushed me more to a life of like holistic and like more health bound and organic things. I know y'all have seen me like making stuff. I'm actually going to delve into like beauty and healthcare. I'm really kind of just planning on doing that independently, and if I get good enough at it, maybe I'll make products otherwise. But like I really am kind of focusing on organic health right now, and organic health and beauty products. So yeah.
So it sounds like van life has really expanded your connection to yourself and the earth, and like allowed those pathways to open.
Yeah,
that's really beautiful.
Do you feel like it's done that for you, or do you feel like it's like changed your mindset in any way? Like, how are you different now than you were when you were not a nomad?
Okay, I was actually just recently talking about this with another friend, but I feel like I used to think that I was like so go with the flow. Like I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go with the flow, you know, like whatever happens, happens, and like something wouldn't happen the way I thought it was gonna go, and I'm like, oh, like this didn't happen that way, you know, and kind of like put off that it didn't happen the way I thought it was gonna, but still trying to go with the flow. But living on the road, I feel like has really helped me like open that idea up a lot more, in the sense that you really don't know what's going to happen at any point in time, you know, like you could have an outline or a plan of what you think you're going to do, but traveling on the road, especially with animals, especially with a partner, like you have to compromise and you have to like decide and plan, and you know it doesn't always work the way you think it's going to. Like you could say, all right, we're gonna get to the beach around 3:00 and then we're gonna go make dinner at 5, but then something happens and you run into people along the way and you sit and chat and then you smoke a joint over here with this person, and it's like, all right, now it's 7:00 and we didn't do any of the things we thought we were gonna do, you know. But it's like, it's okay. It's just like every day comes again, and it's like time never runs out. There's always time to do what you think you have to do, but whatever is meant to happen in that moment will just happen. And
yes.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I feel like it's made me so much more like wistful and whimsical, and like I really kind of like you, like I was like, oh, I'm super go with the flow, like whatever happens happens. And I definitely was, and sorry, because I know some of my friends really hated that quality and some of my employers may have as well.
Yeah, same. Sorry about that.
But you know, when I was at work, I was always a hard worker.
That's true.
But yeah, especially now, like I feel like every day I don't ever form expectations, and I always
you don't
have
ever
the best
have to
day.
plan anything. Life
Never.
just happens the way it's supposed to, because you're naturally just going with the flow of the day, you know. You wake up with the sun. It's so much easier for me to go to bed with the moon and like wake up with the sun and get into like a cycle of like actual rhythm with the earth and the cycles of nature. And yeah, it seems a lot more natural for me to live out on the road than in a house where I some days don't even go outside, you know. We're at our friend's house right now, and I haven't been outside like much all day, and I was like looking forward to you getting here because I'm like, it's nice out, like I know it's beautiful out today, we're gonna be out in the sun, you know. It's easy to get trapped inside when you have a house. When you live in a van, it enables you to be outside and be in nature so much more, for me.
No, seriously, same to me. Like I thought I was active beforehand. I thought that I was, you know, always out in nature. Like, no, I am so much more connected to nature, to the people around me, just to like, feel like I'm like plugged in every area of my life and growing in every which direction.
Expansion.
And it seriously is due to the fact that I am not rooted anywhere. But at the same time, I feel like I have cultivated this environment for myself that every place that I go, I am home. Like, literally, I'm home because of my van. But, you know, I would say
the
psychologically.
Earth is home. Yeah, it's like when you realize that, like, you don't have to just be rooted and stable in one place. You can have that rooted feeling anywhere you go with your home that you've created. The whole Earth is your home, you know? Everywhere that you go is just home because that's how you make it.
Exactly. And, like, this is what our ancestors did, you know? I think that it's interesting. I'm in, like, a lot of van life groups and stuff on Facebook and things like that. And I feel like everybody's like, well, how do you do that? Like, how do you become a minimalist or size down, or like, where do you park, or what do you do? And I feel like I was even the same way, kind of asking all these questions and like, how is this even possible? How is this gonna work?
You have to have faith and you have to trust your intuition. Don't question yourself. Don't say like, oh, should I, like, just trust, you know, trust yourself and go with what feels right to you. You will never guide yourself in the wrong direction, you know, you have to trust.
No, that's absolutely right. And like I said, like, this is what our people did. This is what our ancestors did. And like, I feel like for me, it came so much more naturally and intuitively than I expected, like, at all. I feel like a lot of people around me were just kind of like, I don't know, like, I don't know if you're gonna like this. Like,
you're gonna have to plan, you know. People are like, you're gonna have to like plan out your money. This is exactly what you have to do. But it's like, you know what you have, you know what you're bringing in, you know what you have to do intuitively. Oh, should I spend this extra $50 on a sweatshirt when I still need to buy groceries? Like, probably not. You know, it's like you have to weigh your options sometimes, but it always works out. You know.
Yeah, like, well, like, I feel like I have planned my life to where I have minimal responsibilities right now. Like, seriously, my only bills are my car insurance and my phone bill and gas to wherever I want to go. So
that's if you choose to go, you know. It's like you can literally, it's all up to you what you want to put into it and what you want to get out of it. It's like there were times when we were parked in Sedona for weeks at a time, you know, and didn't move. So it was like we didn't have to worry about buying gas every week or every day or whatever. It was just like, we know this is where we need to be right now and we're just going to be here.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of communities, I feel like, especially like in coastal and warmer areas, that are really conducive of this lifestyle, and like where there's ample parking and you know, transportation to other things. Like, there are some days where all I do is ride my longboard everywhere I go, or where I'm close enough to just walk to everything, or where I can roller skate to everything, you know. So it just kind of varies. I also I was kind of thinking about getting a moped. I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet, but I kind of considered that for like when I want to go longer distances, or maybe like doing deliveries. One source of income for me personally is DoorDash, and I really enjoy doing that, but I kind of don't like putting all those city miles on my van, just because that increases, you know, the amount of maintenance that I have to do on it. I have to get more frequent oil changes and just make sure, you know, which isn't the biggest deal for me because I feel like I do maintain my van very well, and put a lot of love into it. But yeah, so I feel like van life makes it easier to do things like that as well, and maybe live in ways that people don't consider, and maybe not always be so mobile. That went on a little tangent.
No, it's good though. It's good. Let it flow.
But yeah, so what kind of activities do you do like in your everyday life?
Every day I walk. I walk a lot every day, but I really enjoy walking. Even just waking up, going for a morning walk, like right down to the beach. It's like a good way to start your day. You know, you get your blood flowing, you get your system going, you're already in the sun. It's like the day is already here, you know, so there's no going back to bed after that. And it's like, I don't know, from there, I guess it just depends on the day. Some days I'll just literally have beach days where I kick it on the beach, hang out all day, spin fire at night, and then we'll have days where we go on hikes to Sunset Cliffs or cruise around town, longboard the pier, skate around town. Like, it's such a good little cruising town. Like, everything is only so far away, so it's, you know, whatever form of exercise you're looking to get in that day. I really enjoy longboarding, so that's usually what we do. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like really, really versatile. I feel like, especially where we're at right now. Like, yeah, in any given day, I'm like walking, longboarding, hiking, slacklining,
Yeah,
hula
hula
hooping.
hooping, exactly.
Like, there's so many things to do. Sometimes I'll set up and like sell random trinkets at the beach. On Wednesdays, they have the farmers market and drum circles here.
Yeah.
You meet so many friends. I just learned how to surf. I went snorkeling the other day. Signing up for random odd jobs. I like to do that a lot and do random things. Go on photo shoots or excursions with friends.
Yeah.
For me personally, being a social person, I feel like I am never at a loss of plans. I can literally like walk within the blocks of this community too and bump into my friends and be like, hey, let's go do something, and the day just continues like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you want to add or that you feel like we didn't touch on?
I feel like we did pretty good. I just saw Mark's head pop around the corner. I didn't know if he wanted to say anything about our van life. I don't know where he went, but he was literally just popped up behind that tree.
Too. Man, I think that he left. All right. Well, anyways, I think that went pretty well. I hope that you guys enjoy this. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll put your information down below if you want me to too.
Yeah, I don't have a YouTube channel or anything like that, but I have an Instagram, so
check her out.
She'll put the link. Bye.
If you liked what you saw, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.